Your SFL Super Saturday continues here in Chicago, Illinois, as the Chicago Warriors will play host to the Mexico City Aztecs, fresh off a bye and a win. The Mexico City Aztecs looking to get back into winning form after last week copped their second loss of the season to a common opponent, and the Canton Classics could be an upset here for Chicago if they can continue the momentum they gained in Week 6 off the back of a win against the Lexington Miners inside the division, try and keep their season alive and keep away from a 6-loss record. To unpack this one with me this evening, none other than one of my favourite analysts in the league, Mark Lopez. Mark, what are the keys to this matchup tonight?
The keys to the victory will mostly fall in Chicago tonight. I think, Jacob, they are the clear underdog record-wise, but 2 weeks ago, they finally found their magic sauce. You mentioned winning against Lexington and coming away with the win. It's going to be through the legs of type attack, seeing what he can do, scrambling from passes, creative ways of getting away from rushing, or design runs for himself and getting touchdowns that way.
Will be type attack in the home unit on offense to start proceedings here as that kickoff is not returned. Type attack, the quarterback, the backs, Norman Gus, J.W. Doyle, and Dean Jackson, the receivers, Kyle Finnemore, Ryan Arlovsky, Buchanan Simons, John Fullerton, and Paulie Truth, Matty Mack, Kobe Beef, Jess Fullerton, and Sean Sullivan make up the offensive line. Now at a nice spread, Mexico City in a 4-2 to counter, and the back is thrown to the ground there, Norman Gus after a gain of just 3.
Up only his 16th carry of the season, behind Doyle, who has 85, good for 20th most in the league amongst all halfbacks.
Now in an ace, they're going to move one of these tight ends across the formation here. In fact, it was Ryan Arlovsky subbed in as a tight end. Zach's going to drop back, throws across body. That's caught for a first down. Good introduction for the Chicago offense, and Kyle Finnemore, the top target, gets the first catch of the afternoon.
A great target to find, great start to this passing at the Chicago Warriors type attack. We all know his passing ability. He's number 2 in attempts, top 10 in yards and completions, although maybe a little bit more to be desired as far as completion rate goes, but finds his receiver and Kyle Finnemore deep, setting up first down.
Attack on this next play. He's the inverse. He's going to be brought down behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of about 6 there. Getting through was one of the tackles. Unlikely Dan Tritz on the sack there. So that's off the back of a 3-sack effort last week.
Wow.
And what was a season high for him. And the Mexico City defense now announcing their authority. Back in the spread, offset eye this time, 4-2. Corners playing quite deep here for Chicago. Attack's going to throw back, tries to get minimal yardage here. Picks up 6 of the lost and 1 more on top of that with a first completion for Buchanan Simons, and sets up a 3rd down and long.
They're going to have to rely on type attack's arm here. Maybe find Kyle Finnemore drop a similar play.
Out of the quads, Patak's going to pressure around him again, and it's a good tip there from the linebacker John Osiris there, or John Fowler rather, the other John, Max Jackson involved as well, and that will be a punt now out of the Chicago offense. So a result for Mexico City, gave up the early pass, then got the sack on type attack and held down the fort there on 2nd and 3rd down. Christian Ronald Sui there on the punt. And will be fielded and basically dropped right at the 28 there. So Mexico City starting pretty much where Chicago did. And we'll see the Mexico City offense trotted out for head coach Ramos Lynn and offensive coordinator Mike Daggs. Jordan Sipe, the quarterback, perhaps having a career year, some have suggested. Single back off to the right. He avoids and he's thrown, and the lineman just went straight up and tipped that away. Not an opportunity for an interception there early for Chicago.
Yeah, good defense there. More like the pocket collapsed around Sipe. Sipe, top 10 in QBR, top 10 in fewest sacks in the league. The protection there kind of collapsed, making that pass basically drop to the ground at the line.
Bunch off to the left here, 3-2 dime out of Chicago. The handoff up straight up the middle is going to be met immediately at the line of scrimmage. There from the Chicago defense, no room for the veteran Ray Bentley. Brings up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, and not a traditional play to call out of that bunch formation, handing the ball off despite spreading the defense thin, and the distance you go from the quarterback under center to your halfback. The linebackers and DBs read that quick and cover the run well.
Throw out of the trips to the single receiver at the top. It is incomplete. And just as Chicago was shut out on their opening drive, that pass to Navonte Richardson is incomplete. And Mexico City will be forced to punt early off the boot of K.L. Barrett Jr. So Type Attack's defense gets us hold. Here they only gave up 10 points to a turbulent Lexington Miners offense last week. And the similar output today expected. Plenty of room to return this punt as well. Up to the 30 goes the returner there, and will be spotted right at that spot, and that's where Type Attack will resume from where he started off the return from John Fullerton. The Mexico City defense, Evan Miller, Skylar Kingsley, Dan Tritz, who we've already highlighted, and A.K. Jones make up the line. John Fowler at the inside linebacker spot, and then Coltzine Ulia and John Osiris at the outside linebacker spots. Gerard Brody, Liam Ryan, Merrick Itera, Jeffrey Daggs, and Max Jackson make up the secondary. They're all on the field here on a 1st down. Patak's going to drop back, tipped, and almost incomplete. If the secondary went for the ball and not the man, Max Jackson could have had a pick.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Close but dangerous throw by Type Attack. I mean, Mexico City, this is a defense that held Canton basically free of touchdowns almost all of their last game, except for the final 2 minutes. Was the only touchdown they yielded against Canton of all teams, holding them to a total of 10. But great defense in that one individual play by Mexico.
Attack to get away for the sack. He's done brilliantly and will pick up 8 yards there. Potentially a generous spot, but Attack nearly lost about 3 or 4 there at the initial opening of that play.
And that's the kind of thing we were talking about before this game, Jacob. The ability of Attack to see the defense coverage deep and his pocket collapsing and just making things work with his legs.
Now on a 3rd down and short, Attack's going to throw. It was incomplete, looking for Paulie Truth downfield. It was a tough one to hang on to, but it's going to be incomplete as Ben Charbs knocks that one away, and now Chicago will punt back straight away.
Definitely a tough catch to make with that pressure, but you got to give credit to Type Attack. He put that ball exactly at the chest of his receiver, but Paulie Truth is unable to haul it in.
So we again on punting responsibilities, and the punt is fielded at the 30. So basically these two teams trading blows with special teams units at the moment, in the field positions are basically identical. The Chicago defense, Connor O'Shaughnessy, Darko Young, P. Fedor, and Sean Parrott make up the line. Matthias Citrion, Sabo Cannon, Aaron Gooden make up the linebackers as secondary. Kane Magic, Derek Majors, Ricky Robinson, Alex Bond, Doug Day, and Nate Hall. Handoff is met straight at the line once more. His run defense early led by Sabo Cannon. He had the tackle at the line of scrimmage on the first drive. He now has a tackle for loss for his name.
Jacob, I think we're going to get a defensive highlight reel show after maybe just the first quarter. What an intense defense by both teams.
Sipe, pressure, got rid of it, and it's caught by Bill Henry for a gain of about 13. So that's a result for Mexico City. It's their first down of the game.
Incredible composure by Sipe. There's pressure coming just right behind him, but threw that with poise at the right spot for his receiver to catch with just the outstretched arms. Perfect throw, good catch, 1st down.
Again, targeting Sabo Kanan, so he's been involved in pretty much everything for the Chicago defense early on. Now in an empty set. Attack got rid of it quickly. That's a great throw to the outside. And it's caught by Noe Terrazas. Some back-to-back first downs now for the Mexico City offense.
That was probably a touchdown-saving tackle, because otherwise, if Terrazas broke away from that one tackle, that was the safety making the tackle. Outside of that, that was touchdown in front of Terrazas, so touchdown-saving tackle by the safety.
Excellent cover work there from Alex Bond to make sure that didn't end up in 6 points for Mexico City. Now in a bunch formation. Again, Richardson down the bottom, but it'll be a handoff at the middle. This one gets forward progress and picks up 5 yards there. It's the first time off 3 carries that Ray Bentley has picked up yardage. And Mexico City looking to try and get him in more open space. You know what he's capable of. 15-season veteran running back. He needs the two-headed monster between him and also that man right there, Buford Van Dam, who will pick up the first down.
Great running by Van Dam, but what a hole down the middle opened by the line. Despite Chicago stacking the box, there was just a literal parting of the Red Sea, and Van Dam just had to run a straight line.
Single back off to the left, triple formation here. Single tight end at the left-hand side. Sipes going to throw. It's caught in contested coverage there, and Mexico City continue to drive downfield. Jason Bartley's got his first, and now on a 2nd and short, it opens the playbook up, Mark.
Yeah, I like the play selection so far by Mexico. First down, they do a short drop back, quick slant by either the tight end or the edge receiver, and make those easy completions that sweep the field and get the linebackers or safeties out of awares.
2nd and short, opportunity to get some more forward progress for Ray Bentley, and they are successful in doing so. That's a first down for Mexico City, so the drive has spanned quite a ways now. They're inside the red zone off the back of that pass to Bartley, and with about 14 to go here to the stripe. They're going to an empty back set for wide plus a tight end. Short route is incomplete. Chicago gets one back there. Honus Adobe's first target to Jordan Sipe. Not afraid to throw this ball around the offense here.
Yeah, I mean, I like the decision to throw. They lined up in the throw-only formation. So to go for the throw was expected. Pressure was there behind him. Let the ball go, but good on the defensive jarring that ball loose.
2nd down and 10. Sipe drops back. Pressure was there. It's incomplete. Had a look at the end zone in a one-on-one matchup, but great coverage there on the play to force that one away and ensure it wasn't a touchdown from Ricky Robinson.
Wow, great coverage, but I'm gonna give kudos to that rushing attack. They rushed only a total of 4, but 2 of them made it almost all the way back to Sipe, and that pressure probably made it less of an ideal of a pass.
Now on a 3rd down and long, Sipe's going to have one more shot at the end zone here. He's got a first down there inside the 5. And Jason Bartley's got 2 on this drive. He was stopped short of the goal line, but they got goal to go now.
Yeah, Mexico City, Joe Bartley wearing the nice, clean number 10. Mexico lost another number 10 of their wide receivers during the off-season, or at least not during this off-season, but they lost their number 10, Nick Lockett, to Vancouver, and Bartley is a great replacement, more than a replacement.
Bentley is dumped at the goal line there, could not get forward progress. So on the last play, Alex Bond had a potentially 2nd touchdown saving tackle on his drive, and then they get another stop there right on the goal line. So Mexico City starting to feel a pinch here. They go back to a Joker's formation. Bentley's still in the fold. It's Van Dam, another stop here. So on 3rd down, Sabo Cannon once more. Aaron Gooden that time rather, getting the tackle. And the pressure is just a little bit being dialed up here. Offset. I think they're going to change the approach here.
They do zone defense and goal line.
It'll be a handoff right up the middle. He didn't get it. What a stop from Chicago. They're at the 2 and they've got 3 straight tackles on the goal line. Matthias Citron completes the hat trick for Chicago's defense. And now we're going to have a retroactive look at whether or not the back crossed the line, brought to you by Retroid.
Coach Dag's quick on that flag throw. To me, it looked like a good tackle. The ball didn't. If you consider the body crossing the plane, maybe the ball didn't. That's for sure.
It's a difference between 6 points and 250k either way. And it will stand, so Chicago gets a goal line stand.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So money in the bank for this Chicago unit to spend across their progressions in the forthcoming week. And Mexico City are going to be held to 3 points. Huge result for the Warriors.
Citrion with what looks like 250,000 in the bank. What a play to make it all happen and stop the almighty offense that is Mexico City. Number 2 scoring offense, by the way, marching down the field, but Chicago did not break.
Correction, that goes to Matthias Citrion exclusively. However, really credit should be split across the 3 players that had goal line tackles there. First it was Alex Bond, then it was Aaron Gooden, and then Citrion completed it there. And now Chicago an opportunity now on return. He's got a spin move and a second move on the outside. Got to pass the 30 to the 31. So Chicago's full of life here in this one after that stand.
The home team is alive. What is happening here? If you're the return, or if you're the kicking team, you better coach your players in tackling. Goodness me, bring the guy down.
Jason Bartley has 2 kickoff return touchdowns this season. Veteran wide receiver potentially in line for Special Teams Player of the Season honors, at least at the halfway point, the way that he's tracking. Chicago will start as a split spread here, and Norman Gus will get a carry for the second time today, picks up 3 yards, so they're not afraid to get the undrafted free agent involved, despite J.W. Doyle starting to pick up steam here this season. His first few games getting acclimated in this offense were rough, but he's starting to pick up steam now. He's had a 100-yard game in their last outing. Type attack now on a second down, sidearms it, it's incomplete. Almost picked off though. The defender was coming through. Buchanan Simons has to breathe a sigh of relief there, and it'll be a 3rd down and long upcoming for Chicago.
I think it was looking for Simons, as you mentioned, but Patak also had to make the throw on the run, so it could have been a little bit of a wobbler, not the most ideal of a pass.
On a quads formation here. All 4 of Chicago's wideouts on the field. Type attack rolls out again. He's going to rush it. No one in front of him. Type attack's going to motor downfield. Absolutely no ball security there from the quarterback, but he's picked up a significant chunk of change and a 1st down.
You're right. He just one-hands that ball. At least stuck the ball in your armpit, but no. I guess as a quarterback, Jacob, he has the grip strength to hold on to the ball, but scary stuff from time to time. But he makes magic work with his legs. Last week against Canton, he had 57 on the ground. Sorry, not against Canton, against Lexington. He had 57 on the ground by himself and a touchdown.
Now a run off the weak side for J.W. Doyle. Picks up 4 or 5 yards there on that play and keeps the offense moving there. And again, type attack not afraid at all to take some contact there on the rush. Normally want a quarterback to slide. Not him. He's a running back in effect. Attack drops back. Great blocking up front. Paulie True found him wide open space there now at the 30.
Norman Gus with one of the best blocks I've seen from a halfback. You don't see it in this replay, but that block alone gave time for Truth to run this corner route into open space, and that is just money. Gus, what a play.
Now it's Chicago on the move. They're 10 yards away from the red zone. Mexico City in a 4-2. One of the linebackers pushing up into the line here. Handoff short side. There's Doyle. Tries to carry a defender forward. And doesn't really get the momentum there, Gus that he was after. So he's Gus getting the majority of the carries, and that's the end of the opening quarter here at the Thermoplex. But Mexico City holds the lead early in a low-scoring defensive affair. Back here in Chicago, second of 4 games, headlining your Saturday night here in Week 8 of the SFL Season 23 regular season. Chicago in an ace twins formation. It's going to be a carry up the middle for JW Doyle. Picks up a further 3 yards and makes third down somewhat manageable.
34. I'm not sure whether they're already in the kicking range of Christian Ronald Shuey. He's long as 32. They are at about, I'd say, a 40 field goal range here.
Attack's going to drop back. Pressure didn't get to him somehow.
Wow.
And he's got the pass away. I don't know how Mexico City didn't get a sack there, but John Fullerton has been found across the inside the numbers, and Mexico City have just folded slightly. Look at that. He just didn't get free of the block.
Yeah. His right tackle essentially hit the would-be sacker square in the shoulder, and that spun him around. That was just enough to avoid the sack. Wow.
Now with goal to go, 9 yards away from the stripe. Patak's going to roll out, then a process. Picked in the end zone, and now going back the other way is John Fowler. Patak at the save the day. Drags him down inside the 15, but John Fowler's got an interception on the board.
I just saw Merrick Itera post the biggest block of my life on the way back here. We'll see here the interception by John Fowler, and then Itera on the right over there. Holy, that if Fowler broke away that final tackle, it could have been pick 6. But that's the trials and tribulations of throwing across your body, is you meet the interception of a defender.
Eric Itera has been getting tight end reps at practice, perhaps. And now Mexico City with offense back, and Patak is straight away going to be buried for a loss of 4, and Aaron Goodham once again the enemy of this Mexico City offense.
So before this game, all of their first 6 weeks, Chicago has only had the grand total of 5 sacks. 5, like the numbers in your number of fingers in your one hand. And already tonight, I think that's number 2 tonight against Sight.
It most certainly is. It's the first for Goodham. And now Patak, Sight rather, going to drop back, cross, and he's caught it.
Wow.
Second effort there from Ray Bentley. He had it, then he didn't have it, and then he ended up with it.
A little bobble, but I fixed my own mistake and finally secures it at the last second. It's short though, but I mean, 3rd and inches, maybe hand it back to Bentley.
Oh, really? Now Mexico City. First down, and Morrison's got forward progress.
Yikes.
Flag down on the play here. Tough carry for him. It's going to be wiped off the board. Bit of an odd one there, a clip on the offensive line. He just ran straight into the guy. Like, no. I mean, yeah, he's a linebacker. He should probably stand up to that.
Right.
But it's going to force Mexico City backwards here. And now the 3rd down. It's going to be reasonably long here. 12 yards required to keep this drive going.
Go from 3rd and inches to 3rd and 12.
Unbelievable. Sight throws, it's incomplete. So the penalty costs them a first down and forces them back far enough that the 3rd down was untenable. And now Mexico City will punt this one away once more.
Man, this is looking like not the typical Mexico City. The first 5 games of their season, they were near the top in scoring, prior to their Canton game, they scored only 3 points there, and now only 3 here.
Mexico City unable to capitalise off the John Fowler interception, and we'll cross to SFL HQ for a quick game break.
Thank you, Jacob. Atlanta's in Arizona today. The Flying Hawaiian Bryant Dynasty now tied for the league lead in touchdown passes with 10. Arizona leads Atlanta 14-10 just before the break. Back to you.
Interesting game on the other side of the block here tonight. This one more on the defensive front here as Chicago will start on halfway. Attack, hand off to Gus. Gus can't get far there. It's a pick up of 2. So the roles tonight have effectively been reversed, Mark, where it's Norman Gus getting the first team carries. And J.W. Doyle taking a bit of a back seat, even though the latter has been the more efficient runner across the course of this season and tonight. Paulie Truth motioned here from one side to the other. Trying to open up a lane here, mayhaps. It'll be a throw to the flats. It's caught there. Pick up of a few is caught by John Fullerton. And brings up a 3rd down and 4.
I wonder if the philosophy of giving Gus the ball first is such that on first down, he's the ball carrier. And on key 3rd and short, Doyle isn't as exhausted and he can be the one to punch the ball in.
Potentially, Patak shook the sack off.
Oh my goodness.
Hurdles the man. Couldn't quite get the first down, but that was a huge effort from Ty Patak to even keep that play alive. John Fowler ends up stopping him short of the line to gain. And Chicago will pump this one away once more.
I mean, Ty Patak is a menace on his feet. Mexico City finally able to clean up against Ty Patak's running.
Another punt has just been trading blows on special teams. Today, that punt a little too close to the end zone there. Sails into the in goal. And it's where Chicago will take over at the 20. The SFL convention is headed to Baltimore for the 2025 convention, kicking off the league's 25th anniversary season, July 10 to 14. Join SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel, the Hyatt Regency, looking out into Baltimore's Inner Harbor, and revel in the league's first convention on the East Coast. You can reserve your room now at the special group rate at simfl.net. First down play here for Mexico City is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. In fact, Ray Bentley will lose a yard there and trekking inside 5.5 minutes here. Still no major progress on either side of the ball for either offense.
Yeah, they've only totaled 9 yards in 11 attempts. Or in 9 attempts, so it's 1 yard a carry.
Bartley on the outside, he picks up a couple there, but he's stopped straight away by Ricky Robinson, and now it'll be a quick 3rd down and long attempt here for Mexico City.
Another back-to-back 3rd and long. Last time it was 3rd and 12. This is only 3 yards shorter, but this defense of Chicago can bring the heat up.
Throw on 3rd down is in and out of hands of a defender and not a receiver. Ricky Robinson nearly had an interception there, but irrespective, it will be a turnover for Chicago with worse field position. This one will be punted away by K.L. Barrett Jr., I should say. It sails away, and Chicago not quite starting at the 50 this time, but it's only 10 yards worse. I'll start at the 41 instead off the back of John Fullerton's return. And we've just under 5 minutes to go. It'd be a break even for one of these offenses just to get a first down. It's been hard to come by.
Right, but Chicago has been in scoring range, primed for a touchdown position in their 2 drives ago. They just threw it away. At least Type Attack did. So trying to get back into at least field goal range.
Single back formation, drop back there. Simons, that one was too hard to hang on to. Arizona scored a field goal before the half was out in the other game. So that is currently at 17 points to 10. Atlanta hanging with the Scorpions thus far. And this one still on a knife's edge here. It really feels like whichever offense can click first is the potentially going to take this one out in the second half. Patak's going to throw it outside. It's caught by Doyle, kept the feet in bounds, and he'll pick up 5 yards.
Nice catch by Doyle there, setting up third and medium. Now, the dangerous part about this is third and medium. Sure, Chicago opens up the playbook to do a short pass, but if his deep passes are covered, nobody's there, he can run the ball himself as he scrambles.
7-5 here. Patak's going to roll to the short side. It's caught by Polly Truth for a first down. So Chicago gets a break on offense. Keeps this drive going and into Mexico City territory.
And that's what we like to see. Roll out, but throw to where your receivers are instead of the one single receiver across the other side of the field. But that was the perfect formation to do that in, where all your receivers are all bunched up to one side.
I'll opt for a similar approach here on first down and 10. Twins to the top. It'll be a run for J.W. Doyle, and he's jammed up at the line of scrimmage. There, Skylar Kingsley gets that tackle and keeps J.W. Doyle at bay for the meantime. Attack now with a spread look. Here, 2 backs behind him in a split 4-2 defense. And Mexico City playing their corners back about 10 yards. Patak drops back here. Quick throw out of hands. It's straight into the hands of Max Jackson, who will go back in midfield and was contacted illegally in the middle. And that'll add some yards on here off the face mask.
That was just an overthrown pass, nothing more to it. And perhaps pressure got to Patak at the tail end there. That was an unfortunate what looked like a promising drive. Yeah.
So not the result Chicago were after there, and Mexico City are now going to be the beneficiaries of this field position. So the second turnover as well for this defense, and now an opportunity for Mike Daggs' offense to trot this one downfield once more. Hand off at the middle. The back, Ray Bentley runs straight and Darren Good, and that's been the matchup on this side of the ball so far today.
Mexico City still a little bit struggling on the rushing department. Bentley, 8 yards, 8 attempts. Van Dim, 5 yards, 2 attempts.
Joker's look here on second and medium. Handoff to the right-hand side. Morrison tried to get free, couldn't do so. And he gets a couple of yards there as Nate Hall gets in on that stop and keeps them from gaining significant progress. And now third down is a medium one, so they probably aren't going to rush it here. They're in a jacks formation though. Potential opportunity to catch Chicago off guard. They're going to motion Devontae Richardson outside. He's one-on-one with the corner. It's Sipe going to drop back here. Waits. Sipe throws. It's caught by Bill Henry. Great play.
He's gone.
Bill Henry's broken the first tackle. He's down to the 30. What a play call from Mexico City as Jordan Sipe connects with his main tight end and gets the drive going.
Great play calling there. And then how about Bill Henry with the individual effort of making the first 2 defenders miss? Basically leaping out of the tackle by his ankles. And then added 20 yards to his carry. What a play by both the quarterback and him.
Worth 23 yards, and Jordan Sipes now on the move as we head to a 2-minute warning. Here at the Thermoplex, Chicago potentially being pushed back here by this Mexico City offense that found a big play there. That connection on third down. Sipes going to change the formation up here. 5 wide to counter a 3-2 defense out of Chicago. Sipe will drop back. Good blocking up front. It's caught for a first down. 15-yard pickup for hands to Ray Bentley.
Uh-oh, Doug Day goes down.
Doug Day comes up second best there on that play. He'll be assessed, and fortunately for Chicago, they'll almost certainly head straight into the halftime break, so he'll only miss this possession, and then he'll be able to either come back or will be out for the remainder of the game. Let's hope for Chicago and his sake it's the former. We'll check that at halftime at the medical tent. Now 5 wide again for Mexico City, so no holding back here for Jordan Sipe. With the momentum he's got at the moment. Great block up front. It's incomplete.
Oh.
Looked like Adobe had that. It's incomplete and no harm done there to the drive.
The low completion thrown to Adobe. And yeah, it looked like he had it, but I think it was either underthrown or a little bit mistimed because he had to twist his body midair to try to even catch it.
So it's one they'll want back here with a triple formation. Second down and 10. They're 14 yards away from scoring. Sipe waits, throws, caught at the goal line, and he will get it across there. Jason Bartley's got one on the board, and Mexico City are going to push this one out to 10.
That was just great reaction by the route running of Mexico City and by Jason Bartley as Chicago showed man. Most of the receivers stood in zone, so Bartley just run the quick, looked like corner, but he was running it from the inside. And yeah, everyone almost stood still, and that was just enough for him to inch his way into the end zone.
Chicago held strong, where Mexico City finally break them one more time. And this second, as the end of the half looms, it's Mexico City who have a 10-point advantage here on the road. Still boatloads of time though for Chicago to try and mount a score here before the half is out. Try and change the approach a touch. As you see there, Jordan Sipe has pretty much all of his attempts were above 10 yards. And that's a good return to start things off here for Chicago from John Fullerton.
We're going to need to see more from Chicago. Depending on their first few plays here towards the tail end of the second half or the second quarter, I think they're just maybe aggressive or not here. They might start with a run play and then get the gears up depending on how it goes.
Spread formation here from the 34. Chicago. An opportunity for points before the half is out. Patak's going to roll away from pressure again. Got nailed straight away.
Oh my.
So be careful taking contact like that. Only 4-yard pick up there on that play.
And that's the other thing that is probably missed from Type Attack running with almost little care for his own life, it seems, is he might get injured.
He's not worried about that. J.W. Doyle on the second down carry is met straight away, so Chicago will be forced to call a quick timeout here and try and keep this drive going here on third down with a stopped clock.
Timeout here indicates they might start picking up the pace here and see if they can make one chance for themselves to get into field goal range. They have 2 more timeouts to go.
Attack drops back, it's caught, and he can't shake the tackle there, and it's a stop for Mexico City on defense. Boy, have they played well in this half, and they're going to walk into the halftime break without anything marked against their name. Just under a minute left. Chicago will try and drain this clock away, you would imagine, to give Mexico City no chance of mounting something on the ball before the half is out. Trying to avoid yet further damage here. Worth highlighting, John Fowler has been excellent this half for Mexico City on defense. 6 tackles coupled with the interception in the goal. And a return here from Morrison gets it up to the 30. And with 30 seconds left on the ball, Mexico City can drop this one out and go to half-time, up 10 points to nothing.
Yeah. They might just go into the half nursing a 10-point lead, and I'm not going to be surprised by that. And look at the yard comparison, basically equal. But you look at Mexico, you talk about their rushing struggles, they're just unstoppable through the air.
Single back bunch formation off to the right here. A rush coming around the edge from Aaron Gooden, and a run for Ray Bentley is a good one. That's his best of the half. Picks up 8 yards, and that should take us to the halftime break.
Almost half of their total production all game. More than half, actually.
The clock winding down. They'll have one more shot at it here with Buford Van Dam, who will get some extra numbers put next to his name as the half winds out. And that's where the first half ends. Here, Mexico City up on the road. 10 points to nothing over Chicago, but still plenty of room for this one to swing either way. But at the Thermoplex, it's Mexico City who have the early advantage, 10 points to nothing, and we'll dive into the halftime stats and highlights here. It's Mexico City's evening thus far as they lead 10 points to nothing. Mark Lopez, give us your halftime takeaways.
Few takeaways. Number one, touch attack is incredible with his feet. He has some magic with his throwing as well. However, on just a couple of mistakes, he throws the interception. One on a throw that went across his body that would have been for a score, instead thrown to 2 defenders. Another one where he just pretty much overthrows his receiver into the waiting arms of Mexico City's defense. Both were interceptions, and that was my key takeaway.
Jason Bartley is your player of the half, and we'll take a quick halftime break brought to you by Breaks GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
It's an Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
So we got a quick look at the injury update for Doug Day, considered doubtful to return to this game. So not a positive one way to start the half for Chicago, but an opportunity early to get things back on track. Break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Breaks GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Breaks GPT offers you the shutout-winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors at our Breaks GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site, breaksgpt.com, as Jacob Morrison returns this one up to the 28th, and that's where Mexico City will take over on offense.
And if there's anything that they can improve for their offense, it's going to be their running game. Because as they're trying to keep the lead here, and at some point in the game, they're going to want to start bleeding the clock. And so their ability to run the ball and pick up first downs through the ground will need to be in play.
Single back here, 3 wide, runs up the
There
middle.
you go.
Goes straight into the mitts of Ray Bentley, who picks up 6 yards. So he continues an otherwise strong performance despite the low usage.
He's now jumped up from a 1 yard per carry 4 attempts ago to now 2.2. So he's slowly but surely increasing his pace.
Starting to figure it out here as Morrison gets the second down pickup, and that's another 6-yard run from Jacob Morrison, who too is having a decent game when called upon, more so on special teams here today. Now on a first down, they got Bentley off to the left-hand side. 3 wide, 3-3 defense out of Chicago, so plenty of diversity from this Warriors unit here. That's a great run from Ray Bentley. Picks up 6 yards. So again, 6 yards on 3 different occasions to start this drive off.
Don't forget, at the tail end of the first half, he saw an 8-yarder and then another 6-yarder from both Bentley and Van Dam. So this running game is starting to come alive now.
There is Van Dam. So now all three backs have touched it on this drive, but that time Chicago gets one back there as Nate Hall filling in for the injured Doug Day. Picks up and dumps him basically at the line of scrimmage, and now Mexico City have to deal with a 3rd and short.
I mean, Nate Hall is still an incredible athlete on his own, so Chicago is thankful to have him on the roster.
Now with third down, he stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Great defensive stand there, and Sabo Kanan gets that stop, and Chicago gets the only result they were after.
That's TFL number 5 by Chicago as a team. This defensive unit has been hounding Mexico City in the backfield.
Kale Barrett's boot is going to send this one away inside the 15. Is where it's fielded, and he'll be dropped. John Fullerton inside the 20. We didn't really look at what halftime adjustments type attack has made to this offense that just couldn't quite get it going, really. The main stamp of authority was the rushing of type attack, and even then there were no design quarterback runs. It was just him making something out of nothing. So they want to try and improve on that in this second half. Hand off to the short side, and it's going to be a run of no gain there as Dan Tritz gets another tackle for loss, and we'll go back to SFL HQ for a quick game break.
Thank you, Jacob. Ashley Jackson today is 14 of 20, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, a touchdown to 3 different receivers, and Arizona leads 24-10. Back to you.
Arizona starting to run away with that other game. The attack again is nailed, this time behind the line of scrimmage. Great pursuit there from Mexico City's defense, and it's going to stop them short of line of scrimmage here.
Wow.
Jeffrey Daggs there had support from Skylar Kingsley. 2 of Mexico City's veterans combining there to stop the elusive type attack in his tracks, and now on a 3rd down and long, he's going to have to try and find something here. Receiver motioned across here. Patak's going to drop back, throws across. Almost one-handed it there. Was the receiver across in there. It was Kyle Finnemore who nearly had a spectacular grab. He couldn't hang on to it. And it'll be a 4th down very quickly here for Chicago.
Very uneventful. There was just that one drive where they got so close, and that has been the closest they've ever been since.
Punt sent away here, and it's going to be fielded just before halfway, and Morrison will take it into Chicago territory. So great starting field position here for the Aztecs. So Jordan Sipe again ended the half with a touchdown pass to Jason Bartley. He was highlighted as having a strong season, particularly in the special teams department. And now Sipe has 3 wide on the field, including a tight end down the bottom. It'll be a carry that will pick up 2 yards here on that one. And Aaron Gooden has had a spectacular performance, likewise to Fowler, on the defensive side of the ball here for Chicago. And now on a 2nd down and long, they'll bring a heavy set out. Chicago load the box up here. Hand off to Buford Van Dam. Got past the line of scrimmage. Picks up a chunky yardage there, so makes the down more manageable.
We've seen Sipe throw out of 3rd and 3 earlier. That's what led to the huge catch by Bill Henry on the sideline. It was in a different formation, but they might try to replicate it here.
Trying it again here, and it's going to be a carry, and Ray Bentley will bowl over the defender, and it will be at a cost of a 1st down. Aaron Gooden couldn't quite hang on.
Yeah, good play out right there. Tried to find the outside, sees the gap, and shoots the opening. Nice zone running by Mexico over there.
Great offense here for Mexico City. Morrison tried to get free, couldn't quite break the defensive play there. And it's only a 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, still Mexico's line is opening up those holes. Like, that one was more of an ISO run, and Van Dam, the fullback, was already out in space. Too quick, actually.
Bentley's in the backfield here, got a block on the outside, and he will pick up a first down. Great blocking on the outside there from the tight end in Devontae Richardson.
Everyone was blocked. The safety had to come all the way from the left side of the field, at least in this perspective. That was K Magic, the cornerback, sitting all the way back deep in the field playing safety, making that tackle.
He's at the expense of a fresh set of downs now. A rusher on the outside trying to get there, but Jacob Morrison has no problem picking up 7 yards. This Mexico City rushing offense is becoming very efficient here at getting significant yardage.
Yeah, and you can see Chicago starting to gamble on some of those defensive plays. You mentioned the rusher on the outside, hoping for an outside run. Instead, they run the gut down the middle.
Jokers here. Bentley's got room on the outside. The stiff arm. Ray Bentley tried to get a second stiff arm there, but he's tackled after a gain of a solid chunk of yardage there. And Ray Bentley now starting to really open this game up.
That horizontal sideline to sideline running is so nice to see when it works. And with Ray Bentley's ability to break those tackles and stiff arm defenders, it'll work more often than the defense would like.
It's the backup safety there in the place of Doug Day. Got that tackle after the corner. Derek Majors was put into the ground there while a stiff arm, and an initial run here for Jacob Morrison picks up 6. So again, highlighting the rushing yardage from Mexico City. That's a bit cruel, I think, from SFL HQ to put that graphic up.
It's also not including that in the first half, Mexico only had 28 rushing yards.
They definitely flipped the switch here, Mark, in this second half. And now in a heavy set, Buford Van Dam's going to get a carry, trying to get forward progress, can't do so. Now on a third down and short. Remember last time Mexico City were in this position, Chicago got a stop, and you feel like a stop here again is going to be crucial. Otherwise, it's going to be a 3-score game.
It's 3rd and 2, but it feels like 3rd and goal based on where they are right now.
Jokers formation here. They're going to get it in here. Run for Bentley, the burst of speed. What? He will go in untouched. Ray Bentley just disappeared through the line of scrimmage. And Mexico City are going to push this out to 3 scores.
That's some misdirection as far as hiding your maximum speed. And then with the final burst of speed, just run through into the end zone. What a play by Bentley. Like a ghost as he runs down to pick up 6.
It was a great play, a great drive from Mexico City. Nearly took 4 minutes off the clock of 10 plays. And they basically averaged just under 5 yards per play, which is pretty impressive given the short field position. And now Chicago really under some pressure here. That 0 is starting to look very, very harsh now, given where they are in the standings and their struggles this season, but also what they were able to accomplish 2 weeks ago against Lexington. They need to pull from some of that, as this was returned up to the 25 by Kyle Finnemore.
That's an insane statistic right there. All plays last drive for Mexico City runs, 10 of them, 45 on the ground. Wow.
There you go. They did not go to the air once on that last possession. And Chicago now in a spread offense. The handoff down the bottom to Norman Gus. He will pick up 3. Didn't even realize how tall he is. He is a huge unit, 6'4", 240. Thought J.W. Doyle was big at 6'2", 242. Gus well eclipses him as the biggest rusher on this roster. He's almost as big as the fullback, Gus. Now a throw to the flats from type attack, and John Fullerton, like a running back, will carry it forward and pick up a first down.
You gotta love to see those kind of high effort plays all the time, turning the legs, keeping the play going, and carrying a defender on his back. Yeah, work those legs, fella. Those minutes, hours in the weight room are paying off.
Easy money with his third grab of the game. That was certainly the hardest one of the lot, but it's at the reward of a first down for his offense. And now a handoff for Gus. He'll pick up 3 yards. That's been the theme of the evening for him, which isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world given his season averages, but it's this drive going forward in the right direction. Doyle will trot out here on this play. Joker's off to the right. Split backfield here. Tight end moved in motion across. They have passed out of these before tonight, Chicago. Attack will do so once more. He rolls out around. Blocker couldn't get free. What a grab for Paulie Truth. That was sexy. And he returns it up over halfway. Runs it out of bounds at the 35.
Wouldn't you say that was a beautiful catch, Jacob? Wow.
Great precision there on the throw from type attack, and he finds the elite tight end, Paulie Truth, in space. That's his third grab of the evening. He leads the team in yardage as well. Chicago trying to find something here as the third quarter clock has raced by. After that, the first drive from Mexico City, last drive from Mexico City, I should say, as that run only picks up a yard. There's Skylar Kingsley with that tackle on Doyle.
Well, they might line up here. Oh, it doesn't look like it's heavy set, so they'll spread it instead, and they might throw here.
Done a bit of everything out of these formations before today. It's going to be a handoff to Norman Gus. Again, can't get the speed on the outside required to get to the open space before the Mexico City defense could read him. And as the clock trickles down, that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. It's Mexico City well in control of this game, but Chicago driving to try and keep this one alive.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Speaking of the broadcast, how many likes do we have on this video so far? It's not enough. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you've got notifications on so you won't miss a minute of SFL or SFLM action. Help the channel grow through your support. Attack on the run again. Can't get there. And type attack hasn't quite been able to get the scramble going in this second half. He's had a few attempts, but he's been stuffed short. And Chicago now, despite probably being in, you probably think that they're in 4-down territory already given the scoreline. But it's going to be a punt attempt, and it's really not going to find the corner either. That's a good return as well, even to get a couple of yards out of it from Morrison. He did well just to catch it in the corner. Get it up over the 20, and means that even the punt wasn't necessarily the result Chicago were after.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Ty because he had a good chance to convert on a scramble, but just got tangled up with Gus on the way upfield.
Mexico City now, the fresh set of downs. They're going to carry it to Ray Bentley, who picks up 9 yards. So he's just starting Mark to sort of trickle up that yards per attempt on each carry. It's gone from 2 in the first half. Now it's sort of in the second half. It's looked more like 7, 8, 9. He's really had a huge turnaround in the second half. Probably not highlighted on the stat sheet entirely. But the difference between the first half and second half for this Mexico City rushing offense has been very stark. And now on a second down is Shortby for Van Dam, who's had a strong night tonight. Picks up the first down.
I do believe, to your point, at some point in the first quarter, or the first half, Ray Bentley was sitting at 1 yard per carry, 9 yards in 9 attempts. He's now sitting at over 60 yards in 18 attempts.
Now an empty back set 5 wide, throws across, that's caught for a first down. So Sipe goes back to the air, and Noe Terrazas says his second catch of the day.
Terrazas makes some of these athletic catches look easy. I think he one-hands that one.
Sipe now 10 from 17. Trickling closer to 150 through the air. Hand off up the middle again. Bentley
Jesus.
carries it forward 12 yards that time. So it's gone 7, 8, 9, 12 now. He's going to get 50 on his next carry at this rate. But really impressive second half performance from this Mexico City offense. They have worked it out on the ground today. Blocking has been exceptional. Both backs have been very productive. Now Morrison on this one,
my
he
goodness.
picks up 7. It's just a given at this point that they get upwards of 5 or 6 yards either back. Chicago have really let the foot off the gas here, particularly when they lost Doug Day. That was a real turning point. Feels like they haven't quite recovered since their defensive leader was taken from the field. Now on a short down, it'll be a handoff to Ray Bentley.
Good
and he will
stuff.
pick up a first down. Again, consistent yardage.
Good, consistent yardage. The other thing that's probably underappreciated here is the decision-making of Bentley. The play is designed to be run on the outside, but cuts inside as he saw the gap opening up, a wide gap opening in the inside. Cuts in, picks up maybe an extra 3-4 yards. Maybe the outside could have opened up to the end zone, but that was riskier, so he settles for a nice solid run, first down.
Run formation, Morrison spun a little bit too early there on the move. He still gets 4 yards out of that one and pushes Chicago further back towards their own goal line again. They've only passed once on this drive. Didn't pass at all on the last scoring drive. They haven't needed to. That run now, they'll be stopped. So Chicago gets a much-needed hold there as Nate Hall gets in on that tackle. Now third down and long.
Did you just say Nate Hall gave them a much-needed hold? I see what you did there, Jacob.
There you go. Bit of a play on words there. Sipe on a third down. Adobe again the target on third down. That was a little bit too tough to hold on to for the former Charleston Predator, and now there'll be a supposed field goal attempt here for Chaz Blackwater from 41 yards away. Blackwater sends it right to left. He's kept it inside the right-hand upright. And Mexico City now, their second scoring drive of the half, kicks this one out to 20 points.
And they have just been dominating. It looked like in the first half, Chicago was keeping it close. Mexico City was only up a field goal, and Mexico City has just ballooned that lead to 20.
A third down attempt to Honus Adobe was just Mexico City's second pass attempt of the entire half. One of them, the pass to Terrazas, was a completion. Now a run. Fullerton gets outside. Fullerton can't quite break past the last defender, but he's got great field position for his offensive unit. They'll start this one at the 42.
I mean, we get to see the replay here, but the team stats, at some point, if you audience members remember, both teams were tied as far as total yards go at the end of the first half, and now it's just all Mexico City. They've added over 100 total yards, and Chicago has been quite lukewarm offensively.
Absolutely. A real turn for Chicago, given how well they played 2 weeks ago on the road against Lexington, as J.W. Doyle gets that carry. And it's not even, if you look at the yards per attempt or yards per play there for those two sides, it's basically dead even, but it's the first downs that have really been the difference. Mexico City have more than double the amount of first downs gained than Chicago in this one today. And again, most likely ballooned after the last 2 drives from Mexico City with the way that they've been running the ball. Now on a 2nd down and short, it'll be a handoff for Gus. Gus, he can't get forward progress though. He stopped after a gain of 1 there by Uriah for the first time today. And it'll be a 3rd down and short here for Chicago. With JW Doyle back into the fold here. I wonder if type attack will try and throw again out of a heavy set. They've done that a fair bit today. The stacks box here from Mexico City to counter. It'll be a handoff to the fullback here for Dean Jackson, who cannot get the first down. So it's another stop on defense for Mexico City. It just has not fallen into place for Chicago today. And they'll go for it here on 4th down. If it wasn't before, it almost certainly is now. The tackle will roll out. It's almost intercepted, irrespective of a turnover on downs, but it probably should have been the 3rd interception on the afternoon for type attack there, as Gerard Brody can't come up with that one.
I mean, that has been the story all night for the Chicago offense. It has been so many close calls where they could have been converting a 3rd down into a 1st down. Instead, they are just stopped short by Mexico City's defense, whether it be a sack, a TFL, a key turnover here, and now it is Operation Burn the Clock.
It's scarily for Chicago, as if Gerard Brady had to come up with that one, and the forward progress he was already in, that was almost certainly 6 points in the other direction as well. So that run for Ray Bentley is blown up, so Chicago gets a hold there on the first play of this drive. Again, we've been used to seeing Bentley get significant gains on each of his carries, but that one not so. Again, turned it was a 10 carry, 22-yard halftime stat line to a 21 carry, 77-yard stat line. So he's had 55 more yards in the second half than he did in the first half of the same amount of carries. There's another carry there is stopped after minimal yardage. So Chicago with another opportunity to stop Mexico City here on 3rd down. Sight now in a Joker's formation. No aggression here on offense, you would imagine, given where this game is now at. Hand off to Ray Bentley. Gets forward progress, but not quite enough for the 1st down, as Aaron Gooden shuts it down. And inside of 3 minutes to go here, Mexico City will punt this one away. And Guy Clausen pitching in the chat there that this could well be a shutout here for Mexico City, and it would be the 6th of the season collectively. It's been a season of donuts here on the scoreboards for some teams, and it would ultimately be Chicago's first. It's still an opportunity to put a score up before this game is out, as Mexico City drain as much clock as they can. That was a tough one for Carl Barrett to corral, and in we call for the fair catch here, and it will bounce just into the in-goal area there.
So they cut Chicago a bit of slack here by giving them the words lost on me, but they gave them an extra 20 yards essentially off of their end zone. And I mean, 2.5 minutes to go, Chicago, they're going to need to rely on a miracle. They have a miracle in type attack, but everything has to come together.
80 yards for a score here on this drive. That's tipped in away.
Good.
Again, type attack is really flirting with that 3rd interception today.
I believe that was Jeffrey Daggs on the deflection. What a play by Daggs, coming up from the safety position and then jumping the ball.
Has been quiet today, Jeffrey Daggs. It's been one of those games. That's 3 hands. That's caught by Buchanan Simons. That's his 2nd of the football game. He's had 5 targets, but only able to reel in 2 catches. Now attacking a no huddle, throws across, that's caught by Kyle Finnemore. He's got daylight in front of him, spins inside of Dags, but Jeffrey got the second effort, and he'll be down there after a gain of 48. And now on a 4 wide set once more time. Attack's going to throw. It's straight into the defender's hands there, Max Jackson. But Buchanan Simon's efforts to free the ball were positive, and it keeps Chicago with the football as we reach the 2-minute warning. We give our stats team of Dwayne Schindler and Luke Schreiner. Thank them for their efforts. Gives them a chance to work out that play there. The connection from Patak to Finnemore. First time we've really seen that today. Patak throws. That's no one, really. And should have been picked off by Jeffrey Dags.
Yeah, he could smell the pick from there. Almost had it, dived for the ball. So close. He's going to say no fly zone and take the little win by the defense.
They keep going here. Simon's moved in motion. I would love a score here just to avoid a shutout, Chicago, and take something into next week. Attack, throws, it's incomplete. Couldn't quite haul it in there. It was Ryan Arlovsky. That's his second target of the day. Hasn't been able to come up with a catch the second season wide out. And now on a 4th down and 10, they're not going to go for the field goal, so they want 7 points, and they're willing to risk a potential shutout here at home at its expense. So type attack with 4 wide here. Fullerson's going to move in motion.
They're playing prevent. Makes sense.
Totally natural for Mexico City. Throw is straight through everyone's hands. Arlovsky couldn't come up with that one, and it will be a 4th down change of possession for Mexico City on defense, and almost certainly the 6th shutout of this season 23 regular season. And Chicago are now going to move to 1-6 after some high hopes for this season, potentially squandered here, not halfway through the season. It just hasn't gone their way. Again, started with 5 straight losses. They got their first win a couple of weeks ago, but this one just hasn't gone their way off the back of the bye. And now handoff for Ray Bentley, picks up 4 yards. I suppose the saving grace for the Warriors is they have had the worst strength of schedule across the league. Mexico City, meanwhile, have had the second. But they're at a completely different end of the spectrum here in terms of season standings.
And yet they're 4-2, about to be 5-2. That just goes to show how great their team is.
They are very impressive, this Mexico City unit, but it also confirms it's the worst record Chicago have had in this era. Type Attack has been outstanding as a coach for this unit. They started off, again, 8-4 and 7-5, but again, this is going to be a minimum of 6 loss record on the board for Chicago in season 23. Meanwhile, Mexico City having their best campaign of the 4K23 era. As this run downside is for Bentley, who breaks the first tackle. He will keep going, pushes a man out of bounds there. Another great run for Ray Bentley as he ticks up towards 100 yards on the afternoon.
Holy moly. I mean, this first carry was already good. That was already a first down. Sends a man to the underworld and then picks up a grand total of maybe 20. What? Did he have 1 yard per carry in the first quarter? How about 4.5 to finish the game?
I'm saying he was trickling up towards 100 yards. He's blown that out now. He's at 120 again after he had 22 at halftime. As Jordan Sipe will take the first kneel of the game, and Chicago will burn their timeouts. If you want more football, don't you worry, we've got it here on SFL YouTube later tonight. DC will head to an informed Pittsburgh side. Ethan Muslin and your Mark Lopez will be on that call at 9 o'clock. That one followed by Motor City at Minnesota that's what's not to look forward to later this evening. I'm sure you're looking forward to that first game here at the 9 o'clock block. And Week 8 will continue even further tomorrow with a Southern showdown in Texas. The 3-3 Fort Worth Toros will clash with the fellow 3-3 Houston Headhunters at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. That should be brilliant. And then Nashville, Denver, Florida, Carolina, and Lexington, Vancouver. It's another doubleheader. SFL Sunday night here on SFL YouTube, as Mexico City in the victory formation here will take one more kneel, and we'll basically run this clock right down inside 10 seconds here on the punt, and we'll confirm a 20-0 win here on the road, mind you. Obviously, a feat in and of itself to get a shutout defensively on your own turf, but it's also should confirm it's the second shutout of Chicago's season. They were held to nothing against Arizona in Week 3. That one also at this very stadium here. So Chicago, just not the season that they were hoping for here, with a refreshed unit, talented receiving core, type attack still in peak form, but it just hasn't strung together on a week-to-week basis. And they'll probably get one more play here to try and see this one out. Fulton returns that one up past the 20 to the 22. And North Island again, the entire league, bar two teams, Florida and Canton, get the bye next week. So an opportunity for Chicago to revise the game plan one more time. They'll take on the Fort Worth Toros on the road, whereas Mexico City will travel back to their home ground to take on the Los Angeles Lycans. Fresh off a win, that's caught by Finnemore for a first down grab, but that's where proceedings end here at the Thermoplex. An impressive win for Mexico City as they continue to make their title claim here in SFL Season 23. Meanwhile, Chicago held scoreless here at home. Mark Lopez, your take of that game that we just saw?
I mean, it's a great all-around game from Mexico. Their defense really held. I mean, you look at the scoreline, they held Chicago to 0. Their defense was on point tonight. Their offense took some time to ramp up. You can see they started with 3 points all of the first quarter, but there was no doubt that Saip and company, Bentley, Van Dam, with their rushing, and you can't also forget to include the final in Jacob Morrison, who also ported 36 total yards. This unit, they may start slow, but they will finish strong, and that's what counted for them, and they pick up the 20-0 shutout win.
Ray Bentley, your in-game MVP, as Mexico City gets the win here on the road. And we'll take you further into SFL Saturday night action. Mark Lopez will rejoin you at 9 o'clock. We say thank you for tuning in to this one. And again, on behalf of the production crew here and Dwayne Schindler and Luke Schreiner on stats, we say thank you for tuning into this one. And we'll see you later tonight for 2 more games of SFL Week 8 action.